What's up? We back with another one, y'all. Yes, Kingdom Talks. It's your boy 3-2. So, as I told y'all before, we're gonna have a lot of different talks. It's gonna be personal. It's gonna be instructional, motivational, informational. It's gonna be a lot of different kinds of talks, right? But today we're gonna talk about something personal. So we lost a member of the kingdom. My wife and I, we found out we were having a baby in September-ish, and we lost him in February. It was a tough process. It was a tough journey. It was very hard to deal with and go through, and it has caused a lot of pill swallowing, of hard decision making. It's gonna be my junior, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna give him my name, but we was gonna nickname him AJ. His name was gonna be Adonis. But I always wanted a boy, you know, and we were very, very excited, you know what I'm saying, to be welcoming him in, and you know what I'm saying, adding, you know, a new addition to the family. My daughter has always wanted another sibling, you know what I'm saying? So it was really cool to experience that, you know. Then on the flip side, you know, of course, losing him, that wasn't fun, that wasn't cool, that hurt. And you know, it comes in a time in my life where me and my wife were really spiritually getting back in alignment. You know what I'm saying? Myself, before I met her, I just wasn't doing church attendance. That wasn't my thing. Like Sundays was for me. I wasn't in the church. I was very resentful of the church. They were turned off by the church, and just wasn't really interested in going. And what turned into, you know what I'm saying, one church attendance to impress her turned into, you know, many, many more, and then eventually me joining. And that led to us reading the Bible. It led to us praying at home. It led to us, you know, changing our playlist, you know what I'm saying, from me listening to Meek Mill and A Boogie 24/7 to me creating my own gospel, you know what I'm saying, playlist with 100+ songs, and not listening to any of my rap and R&B music for months on end. And we were really stepping and aligning ourselves with God, and you know, that kind of happened. And taking my full accountability, because that's one of the things that I preach when we go through the BU 4-point plan. You have to be real with yourself in order to truly change. You have to be honest and open in order to fully change. So I had to be real when I started looking at those moments when we first lost our son. I was lost. I had a plan and it didn't go the way I thought. I had a vision, news that I didn't know I was gonna get once I had it, and it didn't pan out that way. I was resentful, I was hurt, I was angry, I was mad, you know, trying to use profanity, but I was up there, you know what I'm saying? I was on a honey, you know. I got a great village behind me, around me, surrounding me, with me, you know what I'm saying? And you know, they always, y'all gonna get through this, you know, I know it's tough, I know it's rough. My dad's a pastor, started counseling us, you know, sitting us down, helping us look at situations differently and again. And up front, at first, I wasn't feeling it. I was doing the exercises. I was hearing the people. I wasn't listening. I wasn't into it. You know what I'm saying? I lost what I felt was promised to me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a situation of this is something that we asked for necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was on birth control, you know what I'm saying? And we not thinking, you know what I'm saying, the 0.001% is gonna be us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a possibility, you know what we're doing, but in all aspects of the situation, it was a miracle, right? So I got this miracle, and I'm expecting this miracle to manifest into a person. I done went to these doctor's appointments. We done been in and out these hospitals. It's been tough on my mental. I've been stressed out because I see my wife and she is so just, she's depleted. She's depleted. She don't got no energy. She can't eat. She can't sleep. She can't drink nothing. She throwing up everything. Hyperemesis was a mug, right? It was tough. It was a brutal process, right? I'm seeing her literally lose weight day in and day out. It was tough, right? This miracle. I'm like, okay, we just gotta fight through because it's a miracle after all, right? Then only 2% of women get hyperemesis. What's up? Hold on. I don't like these numbers, G. You're making an example, and I bet you know what? It's tough. I'm gonna hold my head down and keep trucking, right? We lose it. So we ain't just go through all of that to end up here. Nah. Somebody recheck the score. Somebody gotta recount these votes. Cause I know ain't nobody voted for us to go through all of this to get here. Nah. For what? My dad, you know what I'm saying, being a pastor, you know, look again. I know what may feel like a loss in this season. You know what I'm saying? It may feel burdened. You may feel burdened. Look again at the situation. Look at what could have happened. Look at all the other possibilities. And anything that he take away for a reason. He saw something that we couldn't see. And again, I heard you. And I want to believe that because it ain't nothing else that makes sense. Everything else is just, it's wild. It's crazy. So it's just like, all right, you know what, fine. Something else had to be at play that I couldn't see, that the doctors couldn't see, that the future just, you know what I'm saying, only the future knew. And it ain't God. So I started settling in on this, right? And eventually, you know what I'm saying, you get to a point where it's like, okay, you settle on it, but you're just not really satisfied with the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not really satisfied with, well, the baby would have came out with some defects, or, you know, maybe the baby wouldn't have made it if we made it all the way through, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, it would have been a thing where we get to the very, very, very end, you know what I'm saying, and then the baby, you know, go, and it's like, all right, we don't want those necessarily, you know what I'm saying, we don't want to lose wifey in the middle of delivering, so I understand, like, some of those say, okay, cool, bet. It was better, you know what I'm saying, that was the better outcome. Although it wasn't the greatest, it was a better outcome than me losing my wife. Okay, I can lean on that a little bit better than this current situation. But then again, it's just like, all right, bet. Now I'm just mad though, because why even put us through this? You know what I'm saying? Why even put us through this? Why even let the 0.001% happen? If, you know what I'm saying, like it was gonna turn out like this, like you. So now I'm mad at God. And it's like, you know, I can't bring myself to pray. I can't bring myself to listen to my gospel list. I can't bring myself to go to church. I can't bring myself to be around people. Because I'm hurting. And so in the midst of, you know what I'm saying, me being lost, in the midst of, you know what I'm saying, me rejecting the information being poured in from God through all of these messengers, right? I'm on leave because I just, you know what I'm saying, really went through a rigorous 6 months. You know what I'm saying? 7 months. I don't even know. But 6 months from us practically moving into the hospital. I'm talking about every other week we was in the hospital. I'm literally spending the night at the hospital and leaving out at 4 o'clock in the morning, clocking in at 7. I'm spending the night at the hospital, you know what I'm saying, bringing food, eating fast food every day, trying, you know what I'm saying, make sure I get up there, get off at 9 and going straight to the hospital, spending the night. It was tough. Seeing her throw up, constantly hearing, waking up in the middle of the night and she's still up and hadn't been asleep, tossing and turning. It was tough. So you gotta understand, like, we done went through all this, so I'm gonna leave. Because I need a break from my job because I deal with a bunch of entitlement in my job, you know what I'm saying? So I needed a break from that, and I needed to be with my wife. You know what I'm saying? She that was a tough process for her too. mentally, physically, and emotionally, spiritually as well. So it's like I needed to be there for her. So I took the time off, you know what I'm saying? And me taking this been my first leave I ever took, right? Since I've been, working full time, after leaving 2017 in college. So I don't really know the process like that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking like, okay, obviously just gonna be, like kids, it shouldn't be too much, right? Wrong. So, you're gonna leave, you gotta get, certification from medical professionals and all that good stuff, right? Okay. Yeah, I know the health system right now, man. Trying to get an appointment, it's tough. So all the appointments that I was trying to get, or all the appointments that was available to me was after my leave expired. You know what I'm saying? I was only taking like 8-week leave or whatever. It was after. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang, alright, that ain't gonna work. So I'm like, okay, how do I do this? And they're like, man, you gonna get a primary care physician. Bro, I'm gonna have one of them. And even still, that's going through the health, and all of them is after my West Coast. So I'm like, alright, bet. So weeks go by, I'm trying, I'm trying, I try getting more, and getting mad and frustrated about that, So the stress of that on top of me going through the situation, with my wife is adding on, right? Well, let's go back, because before we lost the baby, we living in, a house that when I moved out of my goddamn house, got my own, got my daughter her own room, got me a house, an apartment was lit. Well, the plumbing showed in the beginning problematic, we had a real bad rain the first year I moved in, and came home one day, not thinking much of it because it didn't rain before, and I'm just smelling like sewage. I'm like, bro, this stink. Why is my house smelling like straight sewage? Like, I'm like, okay, maybe like, because it was a sewer drain like right outside. So I'm like, maybe it's just that strong. And I must have went downstairs and the whole basement pretty much is flooded. I can see tissue, I can see feces, everything, right? So like, I can't, I put in a work order or whatever for the maintenance crew to come through because it was still, ran by property management. So they had, maintenance crew. They couldn't come until Monday, right? It's Friday. Monday ain't gonna work. So I shoot around the corner to my old dude house, bathroom stuff. So I end up doing the best I can, shop vac, all that good stuff, bleach, do all that while wearing them. That was that situation. So they came through, they did a couple of requests. He snaked the drain outside, inside, all that good stuff. He told me pretty much like it was something that they had to do at like the street level, like where the city and the private line met, So I'm like, okay, cool, well, I'm waiting or whatever, and then I started noticing like the front wall of the basement was leaking, I'm like, bro, where's this little puddle coming from? Put in that work order. Again, it's this front pipe, pipe by the public and private, whatever the sewer thing is. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, so when we gonna get it fixed? Landlord gotta, put the work order in. Alright, bet. He never really approved the work never got done. Alright, cool. So what ends up happening, the problem go away, for the rest of that year. Me and my wife, whatever the case may be. Like I said, the problem it go away. Like every now and then we have the drain in the basement, it'll, overflow with a little bit of water, a little bit of tissue, a little bit of feces, but it'll pretty much go back down and take a little brush, when it wasn't a major. Then towards the end, every flush, every use of the sink, every wash machine, every time we turn on the water, it just fouled up the earth. So we going through that, we're going through our situation with the baby, going through the leave process. We know we can't stay here, so we also moved. So we lost the baby February 26th, we moved March. We out of the house March 8th. You know what I'm saying? So during this whole process, we moved the baby, we went right back to pack. You know what I'm saying? So fresh out the hospital, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like they treated us well. So I told them, look, I don't feel like I handled this whole pregnancy the right way. And now that we're here, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? We finna go. I don't care about what y'all talking about. We're not gonna keep making my baby, guinea pig, like none of that. No, we out. We done. We got the people coming to pick up the baby. We done. So we get home and, you know what I'm saying, you get like a day of rest, and pretty much like that same weekend, we went right into pack. Right, going to go get boxes, packing up the house, getting ready. We find a house within a week, go through the application process, and we get things going. Family came together, help us move. Now we're here, right? So anybody know how moving is, we know the stress of it. So we just stress on stress on stress on stress on stress. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Tax season, what, you know what I'm saying? People look forward to tax season. We old this year, so it wasn't no relief. So it's like, man, I'm getting hit left and right and left and right and left and right. It's like, where is the breaking on this? Like, I'm already tired of being the strongest warrior. I just lost my son, but you gonna keep adding on to it too? Alright, we get to a point, you know what I'm saying, we walking, you know what I'm saying, we talking it out, we doing our marriage counseling, cool. Towards the end, we start falling off that walking thing. We still talking, you know what I'm saying, we still doing our marriage counseling, but life just kind of got dull for us, you know what I'm saying, like I said. And this is right around the time where I started doing my own inventory. I started doing my own analysis, you know what I'm saying, and what came from that, I doing my own analysis, you know what I'm saying, boy, I realized I was lost. I realized that I was just on autopilot. I was just wandering. I had no purpose. I had no intent. I was just a zombie in a sense, you know what I'm saying? I was just kind of, I had a heartbeat. I could breathe. I could talk, but I wasn't living. You know what I'm saying? And I went back to work, and I got, this inventory that I just took. And now I got this newfound scheduling reality of getting back to normal, right? And it was like, I had to mesh the two. So it took me about a month, you know what I'm saying, to get back to a schedule, to get back to a system, to get back to feeling alive again, you know what I'm saying? And the strange thing was, it was getting back to work. And it was getting back to work, and because I work in collections. So part of my job is based on bonuses, you know what I'm saying? The more I collect, the more I bonus in the month. It was coming back and seeing my scorecard where, you know what I'm saying, they kind of like score out how my bonus is calculated. And I came back, it was zero, you know what I'm saying? And when I finished the month of April, it was only like a week and a half, but still, I finished the month of April with about $100. I ain't had a $100 bonus since I first hit the floor, got out of training. My average is like $1,500, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just a cool month for me, right? Sitting there, I got a lot of bills to catch up on. Because the whole time I was getting leave pay, like, the insurance was killing me. They was taking like double out of my check. I'm thinking I'm supposed to get my regular normal check. No, them, they were taking double what they normally take, so I'm getting half of my normal check. I'm like, dang, bro. My bills is budgeted on me getting the whole check. I'm thinking, my leave pay, I'm getting a whole check. No, it's not the case. Okay, cool, bet. It is what it is, right? So I'm dealing with that as well. I get to May, and like the first 2 weeks, I'm under $100. I'm like, bro, what is this? And finally, I say, you know what? I'm not gonna be a victim. I'm gonna finish this month where I want to finish this month, how I want to finish this month, and I'm gonna get to it. So I say, you know what? Put my head down, and I'm gonna get to this bag. Last week is, as of today, it's May 27th. So last week, May 20th, I came in, I'm right under what I'm normally at. But I'm back in business, and I got a whole nother week. And watch me finish on top. But why am I telling y'all these personal anecdotes? Why am I telling y'all this? Because in just that short span from the end of April to May, 2 weeks in May until the last 2 weeks, I implemented a system, okay, that I have implemented, and I need to become more consistent and just executing. Because it's not that I have a problem implementing. But I think I get complacent because I know it works, right? So like it can give you that momentum that you need, and you know what I'm saying. If you're not careful, you'll find yourself in this autopilot mode where you're like, you know what you need to be doing, and you know like you can do it, but you also know like you got this super fire system, so you can kind of put it off because you can get to it. So like that be my thing, right? But let's my bad. I'll be going on tangents. Let's get back to the story. So I use this fire system that allowed me to take inventory of where I was right then and there. I was lost. I was grieving. I was hurt. I was angry. I was frustrated. I needed to have some purpose. I needed intention again. I needed to start living again. How do you get to that point? How do you get to that place? How do you get to that space? Well, it starts with understanding where you are now. And that's that inventory. Taking an assessment of who you are right there in that current moment. Understanding where your weakness is right now. I don't want to do nothing. I don't have any emotions towards anything. I'm angry. I'm short on patience. What are you good at right now? I'm good at being terribly honest with you. Being very, very blunt and truthful. I'm good at keeping my distance from people because I know my TikToks and my triggers right now. I'm very good at speaking. I'm very good at being passionate about helping others. I just have very little compassion for grown-ups complaining because of what I'm doing. So understand me. Like, what do I do with all this information? Where am I trying to go? That's what you do with it. You understand where you're trying to go first. What's the destination? Well, the destination is for me to get back to some normalcy. The destination is for me to start living. The destination is for me to get something out of this experience. I don't want to just go through this and not get nothing from it. I truly believe in you have to go through something to get somewhere. So in order for me to have gone through this, I need to be getting somewhere. And it ain't backwards. It ain't going backwards. That ain't to somewhere I'm going. No siree. That's not why I went through this. I went through this to come out better. I went through this to learn, to take a lesson, not a loss. I went through this to be stronger, wiser, more mature, more developed. So how do I get to that destination from where I am right now, lost? So victimized, down and out, downtrodden. How do I get from here, desolate, hopeless, scarred, traumatized? How do I get from here to happy, joy, overcoming, persistent, resilient? How do I get there? Perseverance. How do I get there? Reverent, graceful, grateful. Come on, how do I get there? How do I get there? Understanding, compassionate, loving. How do I get there? I bet. Well, first you gotta change your attitude. You gotta change where you see the situation. But ain't that the mental? Oh man, okay. So I gotta change my mental. You don't really want to accept the fact that maybe God just know better than you and know more than you and can tell the future and you can't. You don't want to accept the fact that maybe God's timing for y'all blessings wasn't then. Maybe you don't want to accept your part and not being a better steward of the blessings in front of you that you already had. Maybe you don't want to take your accountability and complain about the blessing that you did have when you did have it. Come on now. Let's talk, let's walk. Let's talk and let's walk. Let me holler at you, young buck. Let's get real. Okay, cool. That hurt. That was a tough pill to swallow. But in order for me to get to a place of change, I gotta understand what I did in this. I gotta understand my part. I gotta be real. I gotta be real. It was nice. I complained about going to that hospital. It was nice. I complained about getting them checkups. It was nice. It was nice. I complained about having to get up and hold hair and make sure she good. It was nice. I just wanted to sleep. I just worked 8 hours dealing with people who just want to complain, yell, and cuss at me. I just want to be in peace. It was nice. I said, man, I can't wait. I can't wait till we get through this. Can't wait till the baby just here. She can just rest. I'll take care of the baby, but man, I'm tired of this. So I gotta be accountable. I was tired of dealing with what God blessed us with. So when he took it away, now I want to be angry. Puff my chest out. Man, God, you owe me that. How you do me like this? And I gotta get real with myself, man. I changed my attitude. I changed the way I looked at this. Just maybe, after losing almost 40-something pounds, 50-something pounds, delivering that baby would have been detrimental to her health. You gonna let your pride go. You gonna actually think about some logic here, Dre. Cause she couldn't eat, and when she could eat, it was portions. She was eating like a baby. Baby was not malnutritious. Couldn't keep down water, juice, chicken stock, chicken broth, chicken soup juice. It didn't matter. Couldn't keep it down. You wanted her to suffer another 3 months just so you could have a son? You wanted that to mess up her internal organs? Possibly detriment, you know what I'm saying, cause some long-term health? Now let's just get real, Dre. Y'all can create another one. And this season, it didn't turn out to be a tree. But guess what? Next season is going to turn out to be that tree. The tree. So come on, man. What you mad about? What you not trusting God about? Maybe this was your test. He took it all away from Job. You still got a house. You was able to move in the midst of your tragedy. You was able to adjust. You was able to take off from work. You was able to be there for your wife. You was able to be there for your daughter. I allowed you to be strong through all of this so you can hold them up. What you stressed about? What am I stressed about? I got my life. I'm breathing. I got full faculties. I got full function. My wife, she got her life. She's breathing. Full faculty. Full function. What are we complaining about? I'm 28, she's 26. What are we complaining about? Was it traumatic? Absolutely. Did it hurt? Absolutely. Did it trigger? Did it feel piercing? Absolutely. Is God done working? Did he give up on us? Because he didn't give us this thing that we wanted? Did he abandon us? Did he forsake us? Has he left us? So, you change the way you're going about this, my guy. I bet. So I look at it differently. Now, it's more than just different. You can change your attitude, your physical attitude towards the situation. You can change the way in which you're going about this situation. You can change the way in which you think about this situation. Okay, fine. No, you can't have separate, dog. You need to get back to praying. No, you can't have separate, dog. You said in emotion, in a state of emotional charge, you said you're going to accept the calling over your life. You had an initial assignment and get to it. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's get it cracking. Make it happen. Write the first sermon. When you gonna crack open this playlist, man? You ain't listen to no music since if it ain't your daughter requesting it or a wifey playing it, you ain't been listening to music. What's up? Get back in the spirit. I'm still working on that one. But get back in the spirit. I'm still working on prayer. But I've been praying different. You know what I'm saying? Because my old dude say, sometimes we get into this routine prayer. And routine prayers ain't always prayers from the heart. So sometimes we just gotta talk to God. You gotta let that be our prayer. Just have a conversation. Look, man, I need some help. I need some guidance. You help me kick some of these demons. I need you to get rid of this cloud over my head. Let me change my mood, brighten it up, add some light, add some flavor, add some color. Give me my shine back. I lost it. I really need to rediscover it. Help me rediscover it. You said if I ask, and I'll receive. If I knock, you'll answer. So I'm asking. I'm knocking. I need you. Help me. Help me to stay strong. Help me to lead. Help me to be more wiser in my leadership, in my wife and my daughter. How do I get to that level? Show me. How do I unlock this next level? How do I become situated and stable in this next level? How do I use my platform and my gifts for the greater good? Show me. Help me unlock this. So I start physically changing, and my emotions started changing. The way in which I could think about things and respond to things started changing. My participation and my attitude towards counseling started changing. And in turn, we had our most uncomfortable counseling session last Monday. But when I say the results were so fast acting, my old dude left and we immediately started applying everything from the session, right? immediately started having conversations, immediately set up, you know what I'm saying, some things in which we were going to start doing going forward. We immediately started improving and developing the ways in which we grow and heal in this process together, so that we can have a fruitful and prosperous marriage going forward, right? All right, cool, baby. So my mental, my physical, my emotional all start changing. I'm going to jump towards the spiritual because we talked about the praying, you know what I'm saying? We kind of hit it on, you know what I'm saying, me writing up my first sermon. Getting back more in tune with God, you know, getting my relationship back with God, opening my heart back up to God, allowing Him to have, you know what I'm saying, those vulnerable pieces that are currently broken, that are currently jagged, that are currently, you know what I'm saying, scarred. Allowing Him to have them so He can refurbish, can retouch, make whole again, rebuild, you know? So with that being said, finance is the next thing, right? And I know like a lot of people don't understand, like money doesn't make you happy, but it sure makes it easier to achieve happiness. It takes a lot of stress out. It takes worry out. You don't have to worry about it. You can provide groceries for your family. You know what I'm saying? It just puts you in a better mind state. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have to worry about whether or not you gotta make shift meals or you got pre-planned meals. This takes a little stress off. You don't have to worry about whether or not, you know what I'm saying, this week you're gonna make it through and make all the dollars stretch without any other unexpected expenses. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that we deal with in this household. So I understand where money doesn't bring you happiness because we've been happy. Even despite of everything that we've gone through, we've been happy. So money doesn't make you happy, no. But not having the stress and the worry and not having to think about whether or not I can, whether or not we can, whether or not it's feasible, adds just that much more joy, that much more peace, that much more relaxation to the equation. So we've been becoming, understanding what it would look like to become a better steward of our finances, so that when the next storm comes, when the next unexpected situation happens, we're better prepared. So with that being said, man, that's really how the system works. You sit down and you figure out where you are. You understand where you're trying to go. You work your way backwards to where you are from where you're trying to go. And those are your steps. And from there, you're just taking consistent action, breaking it down and understanding that piece by piece, step by step, minute by minute, day by day, month by month, year by year, you're going to get there. So that's that fire system. And we're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to continue to highlight because I use it a lot, just not as much as I need to. And I'm presenting it to you all because I know and believe that you too can begin to use it and benefit from it. Can begin to use it and see change and progress in the life that you are pursuing. So I appreciate y'all for coming to this week's Kingdom Talk. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, and I definitely would appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and share with somebody, because somebody needs to hear how they can take their life to the next level. Somebody may be going through something similar, and this is just the second talk. Got more to come. My life is very complicated, but it's a life worth learning from. It's a life worth listening to, and it's a life worth leading the people away from, in a sense of the negativity that I face, in a sense of the things that I bump my head. So I lead with my life because it's what I know, in hopes that it can elevate your life, take you to the next level, help you reach that next level, help you live more effectively, more intentionally, more efficient, and achieve your dream. So with that, it's your boy 3-2. I'll catch y'all at the next 3-2. I'll catch y'all. And with that, it's your boy 3-2. I'll catch y'all at the next Kingdom Talk, man. We out.